And good Saturday morning. Looks a little cloudy skies here outside our studios on a Saturday morning. Yeah, but it is Saturday, so what do you expect?
Yep.
Last Saturday, it didn't rain at all, right?
No.
It did not rain at all. I mean, that may be the first in a while.
In weeks.
Yeah, that it did not rain at all. Today, the chance is there, but the chance is minimal. About a 30% chance of rain, I think I saw today. So,
I'd love to see these clouds burn off.
Yeah, and it looks like that'll happen around 11 a.m.
Suits me.
But your chance of rain doesn't happen until 3 o'clock. Now, that's looking at the cell phone weather, and it's only a 30% chance around 3 o'clock. Thunderstorms coming through.
Yep. 3 games to play today down in at Sims Legion Park.
3 games.
Yep.
3 games.
District tournament.
Yeah, and you're talking about Gaston College.
Baseball
Playing in the, what is it?
It's
the
called
Region 10? Is that
No,
what
they
it is?
passed that.
They
This
passed
is the
that.
district. This
Okay.
is to go to the World Series.
And that World Series is in?
Colorado.
Is it?
Okay, Grand Junction, baby.
Oh, too bad that wouldn't be taking place after school. That's out. I might have gone with you.
I
Are you
know.
going?
If they win, yeah,
Are you?
maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
That's still a long
Depends.
way away. How
Oh,
many teams
yeah.
are in this? How many teams are
Only
in this
4.
district? Oh, only 4?
Yeah.
Double elimination style or
Yeah.
round robin or
Yeah,
what?
double elimination.
Double elimination.
They won their first game yesterday against Potomac State, Maryland. No, West Virginia. Potomac State, West Virginia, 5-3. So they played Darlington.
Potomac State,
Florence.
Maryland didn't make it.
Yeah. I think that for some reason this school's out of West Virginia. But play today again.
Or did he say Virginia? Which one is it?
Yeah. I think it's West Virginia.
I have to look at I'm guessing after the Potomac River, so I'd have to look and see where all the Potomac. When you hear
think
Potomac River, what do you think of?
I know you always think of Washington, D.C., right?
I think of Air Florida.
Air Florida.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I know Brett don't. That was before his time. But the Air Florida crash that went into wasn't it Air Florida?
Yeah.
In the Potomac?
Into
and
the Potomac, yeah.
They were live TV showing rescuing people out of the bitter cold
Yeah.
water that
Right.
may have.
Tom Hanks played the pilot in the movie.
That's the whole different one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
oh,
the
that's
Hudson.
different.
That's the Hudson.
That's the Hudson.
River.
Oh, I'm thinking about something. You're thinking about something else. Okay, yeah.
I'm thinking about the Potomac.
Potomac.
Yeah. You're thinking about something else.
Yeah, I'm thinking about something else.
Yeah,
I think I do recall that one too.
And the name of that movie is just silly, but I don't think they ever made a movie about the. I may be wrong about the Air Florida.
Yeah, the icy water that's
disaster.
right.
I don't even think Air Florida. Don Revels probably know the answer to that. I don't even think Air Florida. I don't know if that exists.
I've never heard of it.
That airline exists.
Do you remember what year that was? I mean, the general time frame. No.
1980.
1980.
That is just general. That is very general.
It's coming back. I think
The
they do
Air
remember
Florida disaster. Brett's looking it up right now. It looks like I see it.
82.
82.
82.
Okay.
that. You were close.
Yep. I knew I was still living at home. I wasn't married yet, and all that, because I remember where I was sat and watched. I remember where I was.
It was
when
Air
I sat and
Florida
watched.
Flight 90
Air Florida Flight 90.
out of Ronald Reagan Airport.
Yep. And Reagan Airport's in D.C. And
I mean, was it the Miracle like it was on the Hudson? with
No.
you know what I just thought of,
74
though?
deaths.
74 deaths.
Yeah. Wasn't
Wow.
one of the 9/11 flights, Flight 90?
Or was it 93?
Maybe
There was
Flight
93.
Maybe it was.
United
Yeah.
93.
United 93.
I was going to say that may be a little eerie if both
I
of them
know.
involved a Flight 90. I won't be booking a Flight 90 if that would be the case. But nonetheless, Mike, we got here by talking about Gaston College baseball and softball.
Funny
Potomac,
how things go.
But you already told me this morning before we went on the air that the Lady Rhinos, and I don't know how many girls want to be called Lady
Not
Rhinos.
anymore. That's a no. Women, whatever.
Well, I just don't know how many girls want to be called Rhinos.
Yeah, that's true.
For that, but I have already advanced to the Junior College World
They
Series.
won 2 games yesterday in Alexander City, Alabama,
Okay.
to earn their spot in the softball World Series National Junior College. Athletic Association.
And the reason we know all this is because Mike Powell covers a lot of the sports for Gaston College now, since they have taken on the sports world again, brought sports back to Gaston College. And when they brought sports back, it was the first time in 50 years
50
or something
years,
like
yeah,
that, a 50-year drought.
Yep. 1971, and then
Wasn't the death penalty like SMU got.
No.
It was just,
I don't know what happened there, but I think
it's
it's
probably called cha-ching
Yeah,
at the time. You got to have money to run these
you
programs.
do.
And we've already seen that a lot of junior colleges are cutting programs right and left right now. Some in our area, right? Hadn't CVCC
Yes,
got some
CVCC. I
things
mean,
back?
there's been some rumors, or I don't know how firm they are about cutbacks, or they need. I think they were trying to raise $250,000 to keep the programs going,
Right.
something like that. But we shall see.
Yeah, and as much, I just hope that they don't cut out their basketball programs, men's and women's basketball series, because their facility is so nice, and I would hate to see it just sit there
a beautiful arena.
and only have a couple tournaments.
Yeah, high school tournament.
Catawba basketball tournament around Christmas, and then the CVAC last couple rounds of the CVAC tournament as well. And I don't know if anything else is hosted in there other than that. So, but a great facility, and I hope they keep the basketball.
Yeah, that's what
at least keep it
Gaston wants
going.
to have eventually. Maybe not something quite as great as what CVC has, but a multi-purpose arena.
You say that, but then again, if you're going to build something, why not do it right the first time?
Yeah, they've had
and
some
not
plans.
have to upgrade. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
not
it's
have to upgrade later on.
Yeah, $60 million project down the road, maybe.
You hear that number today. It don't mean what it did 25 years
I know.
ago. I mean, a $60 million project.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know what you get for $60 million this day and time.
I don't know.
It doesn't buy you the Washington Commanders. What was the final?
Around $6 billion.
Yeah, and it happened yesterday. It was finalized yesterday, the signing of the documents, and for the first time in quite a while, Daniel Snyder is not involved in the NFL, and that may be good for the entire sport. I don't know what the problem was. Brett follows it obviously closer than I, but it just seemed like he made a lot of bad decisions early on in his career. But
there for a while he went after the big name player late in their career, and that never worked out, and then he's just been involved in so much
outside football issues.
Yeah, like front office.
Yeah, off the field's what I meant to say. Not outside football, but off the
problems,
field issues.
Well, that ultimately
harassment and that kind of stuff.
That's what cost the former L.A. Raiders coach's job. Can't think of his name right now. Gruden's job, right? Because his connection to one of the
I can't even remember now.
Yeah, one of the higher ups in the Washington Commanders administration, texts, emails, in which he professed certain,
He just said some things.
Some
he shouldn't
things
have said.
shouldn't have said. Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Then they got rid of Gruden. Did the NFL ban John Gruden?
I don't know.
I don't either. I don't remember hearing that.
I know that
news.
he's filed a lawsuit against the Raiders.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably normal. That's
normal.
just, normal reaction.
Civil.
But I just wonder if he's banned from football, or could somebody hire him to run the organization, and would somebody hire him? I mean, he's a pretty good coach.
Pretty good. We know he's a pretty good coach.
Yes, he gets. Seems like he gets a lot out of his players. I guess the longer he sits though, and it sets out, the less likely it is.
I figured he would already be back. I don't know.
Or maybe even a college team would take a chance.
On
him, if he's interested. I don't know. I never did hear whether I don't.
I really liked him on Monday Night Football, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think that'll happen again.
That's not going to happen again. He's toxic now. No.
Maybe he could come back and do USFL games. I don't know exactly what he could do. I guess it could draw interest if he was in the booth doing USL, more interest than there is.
Isn't there a championship this weekend, or
is it? See there? So. That's what that's.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't either. That would be.
Only because I was watching Stephen A. show yesterday, and The Rock made an appearance, and he's all involved in the USFL.
Poor old Stephen A.
Yeah.
He suffered through his Sixers loss a couple nights ago, didn't he?
And he eviscerated the New York Knicks last night during halftime of the
I heard something about that. About
Warriors game.
Wants them to go after
get rid of Julius
Randle.
And who's the guy in Portland?
Yeah,
Dame Lillard.
Ain't that who he wants them to go after?
Yeah.
Is that not the one? I don't know how much. You don't know what the Knicks, what they're thinking or whatever, but.
Now this shows the USFL still has several weeks.
Do they
left? Yeah, maybe it's the XFL.
I may be thinking about the XFL.
And the XFL.
I get my acronyms messed up.
The XFL totally slips my mind as well.
Maybe it is the XFL.
Which one of the two has been around longer this time? Do you know? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, this is the second year of the USFL.
Still don't answer my question.
This might be the first year that the XFL has been back. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't recall either. But as far as local goes, Sage Surratt is playing in the USFL, right? Have I got that one right? And which team is it that he's?
New Orleans.
New Orleans is where he's at.
And they're 4-0.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, so they haven't been playing long this season at all. Just 4 games in.
I was looking for some stats, but it doesn't. Their website does not have any.
The first thing over here under my
it's got box scores
left
for each
side
game.
says XFL Championship. So let's see.
So that must be it's the XFL that has.
Let's just see what it says there. It doesn't even really take you anywhere. Oh, you can watch it on ESPN Plus.
Ooh.
You can watch it live on ESPN Plus. It's basically an advertisement to get you to watch that game and pay to do so. Either you guys have ESPN Plus?
I think I have it. I think I have it through Hulu Live.
I have it, but I rarely ever use it.
Yeah, and I was just wondering what it would show. What would be a draw? I mean, like I'm not buying it today to watch the XFL Championship or tomorrow, whatever day it's on. So it's not that way.
Sage has 26 catches in 4 games.
That's pretty good.
And one of them he had 120 yards and a touchdown.
Yep. Who the quarterback is?
He's probably got around.
Do we recognize the quarterback's name that's throwing him the football? Because
it's a hyphenated last name, Bethel Thompson.
Sounds familiar. Where did he play? College? Don't know. That honestly, that does sound familiar.
I can't tell from here.
The Bethel part is kind of unique. So I think I've heard that before, but I don't know. Now you're going to name a school I've never heard of, most likely, and I'll say, well, maybe I was wrong there. Maybe I didn't know.
UCLA for 2 years, and then Sacramento State for the rest.
I think I remember him at UCLA. They have a way with hyphenated quarterbacks.
But he's 34 years old.
Oh wow!
Well, he's been around.
Well,
played in the Canadian League for a while.
If he's 34 and been around, what's Mike Powell been? Big news last night, in case you fell asleep, didn't stay up like I did to catch it. The Lakers eliminate the Golden State Warriors last night, 122 to 101. A lot of talk this week about should the Lakers help me get my numbers right, in game 5 rest their superstars. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Because I think it was Mike Greenberg that said of ESPN that said no way the Lakers are going to win this game, elimination game for Golden State in their home arena. There's just no way they're going to win it. Why not set them out and rest them? Thoughts?
I didn't like the idea. It just shows weakness to me. I mean, if you guys can't play every game in the playoffs, then something's wrong.
Because you're missing enough of the regular season anyway.
Now, if one of their stars would have got hurt in that game, then he would have looked like a genius.
Somebody had a headache.
But
what was his name?
Anthony Davis. Street Clothes Davis.
Yeah.
Who gave him that name?
I think Barkley. Barkley gave him that.
That's great. But I will say, when he's been on the court, what I've seen, he's performed well.
He had one bad game in this series.
Well,
other than that, he's been awesome.
The Warriors had no answer defensively for him.
No.
I mean, they just the Looney guy, and then his name, they're big.
Yeah.
Great name.
Devon Looney.
Yeah.
Looney.
He's limited. He just AD was huge in the series.
Yep.
They just couldn't match up with him, and I don't know. The Warriors are missing some pieces. They got to retool, as they say. And Jordan Poole did not have a great series.
No, he was awful.
Yeah, that doesn't help you any.
But last night, Klay Thompson 3 for 19.
Yeah, he was.
What I watched early, he I think he might have had those 16 misses while I was watching there early in the game. They were
Curry was 11 for 28. He still got the 32 points, but
not the way he
not
likes
a good
to get.
not a good percentage.
Yeah, if he shoots that many times, how many times? 38.
28.
28.
11 for 28. But
Yeah.
they
if he
shot
shoots 28, how many points do you wind up with?
32.
Well, that's still not bad.
Yeah,
but it's a really low percentage.
It is. It is.
But the Warriors, both teams made 13 threes last night.
Mm-hmm.
But the Warriors shot 22 more than the Lakers did.
Terrible.
Because out of desperation.
Yeah. They were 13 for 48.
Early in the game,
That's
didn't the Lakers get 9 quick ones? Like, didn't they shoot threes and they were just wearing it out early? Because it seemed like it was like 9-1 at one time in 3-point category. I can't remember the numbers for sure, but it just seems like they were knocking them down in the two aces for
There was
Golden State.
In a couple of those games, it wasn't really the two stars, LeBron and AD. What was the guy?
No, they had a lot of
the guard.
Other
what
players
was his
step
name?
up. Lonnie Walker had a great game.
Lonnie Walker had a great
Austin
game.
Reeves.
Reeves
had
big.
23 last night.
So they had a lot of help this time.
Where did we talked about him a while back? Where did he go to college? Didn't we?
He's from Oklahoma.
He went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, he's been in the league.
Lonnie
for
Walker went
2
to
years,
Florida
I think.
State. I
Did he?
believe, right?
Miami.
I can't remember.
Miami. Okay.
Yeah, the state right.
He's Miami.
Yeah, I have the state right.
Yeah, both of those guys are just 24 years old.
They were huge pieces in this particular series.
We've got 5 teams left. After tomorrow, we'll have 4. If you had to pick one of those 5, who is your? If you're going to put some little money on it here, so don't go with your heart, go with your head. Who you think's going to win this thing? Because to me, it seems about as balanced as we've seen in a long time.
You can make a case for Denver, of course.
But I can make a better case against them, and that is they've never won one.
That's true.
Denver is the best team out of the 5. I think so. And they have a great home court advantage.
What about Jokic? Or is that Joker?
Yeah.
They call him Joker, but all the assists the guy's piling up.
Yeah, he's just his offensive game is just about perfect. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. He's been unreal in the playoffs.
Okay, Rodney says Nuggets. You taking Nuggets or the field?
The field.
Oh, absolutely.
I wouldn't take anybody over the field.
It wouldn't bother me at all to see Denver win it just because the franchise has been around a long time and they've never won it. Didn't we say last week they've never reached a final?
Right, yeah.
Never reached a final. So this next step, you wonder sometimes if
uncharted territory.
Well, you wonder too if they reach a final that they've never done before. Will that be like, we did it, and then nothing left?
I don't think so. Yeah, because those guys haven't been around forever. Right. That's not their goal.
And you'd also want to win one for the city because the city's loyal fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
great fans.
Well, can't we make a case for the 76ers too? Sure we can.
I would pick Boston or Philly last at this point because one of them's got to win the game.
Yeah,
tonight. It's been a long time for Philly, if that's what you mean. Philly hadn't won one since the 90s.
No, it's been longer than that, I think. I don't think they won in the 90s.
I don't think
maybe they
either.
made it in the 90s.
Maybe it might have been the 70s since they won one.
Did they win one with Julius, Mike Powell, the Doc?
I think they did.
I don't remember.
And that might have been the 80s.
I think they did. They won. When did they win with Larry Brown as the coach?
Well, okay, they had. I think I can name a couple players on the team. Tony, last name was it Anthony Tony, which doesn't make sense. His name would be Anthony.
Andrew Tony.
They won in
Tony.
83.
83.
But it seems like Anthony Tony was okay. 83 was Bobby Jones still North Carolina? Bobby Jones still on that team?
So.
You had
how about
Daryl Dawkins?
Rebound?
Was Dawkins on that? Daryl Dawkins and Dr. J was on there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Moses Malone.
My Lord.
He was the MVP of the finals. They swept the Lakers 4-0 in that.
Andrew Tony, thank you.
Andrew Tony.
Yeah, not Anthony, but Andrew Tony.
Right.
And then
there was times he was their best player.
Maurice Cheeks was on
Cheeks.
was on the team.
So that's the last time they won it.
Yeah.
So when did they reach?
2001 with Iverson. That's when Larry Brown was coaching them.
When I heard that, Iverson was benched, and that's when Larry Brown. And wonder who beat them in the finals? Probably the Lakers.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mike's a San Francisco, Northern California guy. He might be disappointed, and I'm not rubbing this in, but I am happy that the Golden State's out because, they just got a couple on there that's tough for me to pull for.
It just wasn't a Warriors championship level team, and I don't know why. They need more pieces.
So what's going to happen?
Well, you
got the big three still in place.
You still got the big three.
The big three.
They didn't play as well.
No,
I mean it's the same team they had last year.
Yeah, it is.
They just didn't play as well.
Yeah,
complacent.
It's hard to repeat.
Defensively, I didn't think they were good in this series. But
it is hard to repeat. But to me, I'm sorry, Mike, but to me, if you are going to repeat, baseball and NBA basketball are the easiest.
Yeah,
just because it's a series and NFL's the hardest to me because it's one and done. I mean, you might be. Okay, I go back to the Chicago Bears when they were a powerhouse in the 80s. They looked like they could win 5 to 8 in a row.
Yeah.
They won one. Because it's one game. The very next year they were eliminated by Brett's Redskins after they won that one in 85. It's just hard to do with the one-game situation, one-game scenario.
Well, one thing about the Warriors, too, and I don't know what it was, during the regular season, they were 11-30 at home, and they couldn't win on the road.
11-30 at home?
On the road. On the road, yes.
Okay.
They couldn't win away from
Surprised where they were if they were
11-30 away from San Fran, yeah.
Yeah, and that's not typical of them either because
and including the playoffs, they were 0-5 at L.A. against the Lakers. I don't know about the Clippers, but what was the big difference then in Golden State?
I don't know.
It wasn't injuries, right?
No,
they didn't have to deal with a lot of injuries that I know of.
No, they lost Wiggins for a while. It was personal issues. He had to leave the team for.
Was he with them last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't.
They're all their.
I didn't see lack of effort.
Main guys were. It's really the same team as last year.
Yeah, I'd like to.
One reason, the Lakers weren't involved last year. They weren't even in their way.
No.
And that was just a bad matchup for the Warriors.
It was.
So the Lakers are big.
The Lakers
they play big, physical
big
basketball,
guards.
and then they
play really good half-court defense.
The Lakers picked up guys that could guard.
That's right.
Curry and Thompson a little better.
Make them uncomfortable. That's right. The Lakers are one of the best half-court defensive teams left in the tournament. They played tough half-court D.
Right.
Well, they had the highest defensive rating
this
year, and they have in the playoffs too. They're a defensive team, and then they like to throw the ball inside on offense, and Golden State didn't have much for that either.
Right.
It's just a bad matchup for Golden State.
I can't even think of who.
And really, it was games 1 and 4. The Warriors could have won both those games. but they let them slip
right.
away.
Right. And it makes me wonder when we go into Sunday's Eastern semifinal, one of them teams is going to be very disappointed because they could have won. They could have had enough wins already to put the other one away. You know? I don't know which team would.
But whoever wins that is going to be favored against Miami.
Miami's my pick to win it.
Yeah, well,
and I don't know why, but Jimmy Butler is just a machine when the playoffs roll around.
I think it'll be a really good series regardless of who wins tomorrow. But whoever wins tomorrow, unless somebody big gets hurt, is going to be favored to beat Miami.
Yeah. I can see them being favored.
The winner of that series is going to have a legit shot to win it all.
I don't know how
Boston's been the favorite
plays.
Since Milwaukee was eliminated. Yeah. Boston's been the favorite to win it all.
They were fortunate, though, the other night because Jason Tatum, who's been their best player, had 3 points going to the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them and him, he got hot at the right time. He hit 3 threes in a row. I think he had 16 in the quarter.
Yeah.
But he got hot at the right time, or they would not have won that game because they didn't have anybody that could put the ball in the basket from 3-point range, or that was doing so that night. But I'm going to tell you something. Jason Tatum does get all the attention, all the accolades, but Marcus Smart is what makes that team go. I mean, he's what makes that team go. I mean, that man.
Well, they have really good role players. Al Horford's awesome for them. Malcolm Brogdon off the bench is really good.
Yep. He is.
Yeah, it's all the talk is Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but their role players are really good.
And Brown is good too.
They all play really good defense. Grant Williams is good. Out of Providence Day.
Just smart. He's one of they say you can't teach effort.
Yeah.
Well, he learned it somehow because he has effort. I mean, he's just wide open on both ends of the court. And, never lets up. Never lets up. Does a lot of the dirty work. And he's not a bad shooter on top of all that.
He can score.
He's not a bad shooter. So, Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Is that where he's out of?
Who is that?
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. He's 122 to 101 last night was the Lakers' win over Golden State. So, no drama down the stretch at all in that one. Miami wins at home over the Knicks 96 to 92. 96-92. But I could, you guys didn't give me your one team. Rodney said Nuggets. I said Miami. They just seem to thrive when crunch time.
Oh, bad game for one of our members of the Brotherhood last night. R.J. Barrett. 1 for 10.
1 for 10?
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Yeah.
That happens.
Yes.
A big reason that they didn't win.
Yeah, they finished with 11 points, 5 fouls. He even had to miss some time down the stretch.
What did they shoot from 3-point range?
Let's see. The Knicks were 10 for 35. Miami wasn't any
Not
better.
horrible.
7 for 27.
Right.
Both under 30%. But it was that kind of series. I mean, both of those teams play good D. They're not going to blow anybody out.
Out of the 5 teams left, who shoots the 3 the best? Boston?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, you couldn't say the Lakers.
They don't even want to.
They don't want to.
Right? Yeah.
They don't want to shoot.
Boston in the last game was 15 for 35. So that's good. 43%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
I mean,
Denver came late.
Denver shoots it pretty well.
Do they? Who are their shooters?
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is one of their better ones. Michael Porter Jr. shoots it well. It's not their stars; it's their role players.
Right.
And Jamal Murray, I don't know what he shoots. He's their best guard, but he's 39% on the year. So
that's not bad.
No.
What do you consider?
And in the playoffs,
good. 35.
Yeah. Well,
30 not so much. I'm just asking. Maybe 30 is good.
And Kentavious Caldwell-Pope shot 42%.
Because 30 would be like hitting 45% of twos, right? If I do the math right there.
Porter was over 40%. Jokic shoots 38%. He doesn't shoot as many, but he shot 48% in the playoffs.
Yep, can't wait to watch him play in the semifinals. Lenny says back when the Sixers won it, it wasn't Larry Brown.
No. He was there when they lost to the Lakers.
Let me just finish that. He didn't say that. I'm throwing this in there. That's the trivia part here. It wasn't Larry Brown, but it was a University of North Carolina guy.
Yeah.
I ought to give it to Mike just right there, right off the bat. When they won it as the 76ers, he said, I think the coach was this North Carolina guy. We'll take a timeout while you guys ponder over that. See if you can guess who it is when we come back.
Hi, folks. This is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of RE/MAX Crossroads. As you know, interest rates are on the rise. However, if you are renting a home, your interest rate is 100%. If you are thinking about buying a home, even if you think you can't afford one, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents and discuss your options. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
It's art for the whole family. Bring the family to the Foothills Folk Art Festival today in downtown Newton from 10 till 4. See nearly 70 renowned folk artists from around the Southeast. There'll be demonstrations, art activities for the kids, live music, food trucks, a beer garden, and more. Come to the square in downtown Newton for a great day of art. The festival is presented by the Hickory Museum of Art and Downtown Newton Development Association. Admission is free. Sunday's Mother's Day, so it just might be something special for Mom at the Foothills Folk Art Festival today in downtown Newton.
Mark it down. Friday, May 26th, it's Milwaukee Tool Day at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. One day and one day only. Milwaukee Tool sales representatives will be on hand and offering free demonstrations and help answer any question you may have. Plus, right now, Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply has a big new shipment of pine needles. And don't forget about their rentals. Do it yourself. Rent it from Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply. 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry is not just a name, it's the way you're treated the minute you walk in. A full-service dental practice with over 20 years experience and lifelong resident of Catawba and Lincoln County. His commitment and caring run deep in the community. Located at the intersection of Highway 150 and Business 16 in Denver, he's convenient to where you are. Open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5, so look no further for your dentist than Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry. Call 704-489-9919 for your appointment or more information. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Kale Insurance Lincoln. Call 704-732-4646 or visit kaleinsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
And welcome back to Sports Talk. David Keever along with Mike Powell, Brett Keever here with you on a Saturday morning. Still kind of dark looking outside, but
it is.
Sun should break through, we think, later on. Lenny says the Kangaroo Kid. Was
Kangaroo,
that Cunningham's
that's yep,
nickname?
Kid. That was his nickname.
Where did he get the nickname? Did he hop?
He could jump out of the gym.
Well, that's where he got it then, I guess.
Yeah.
Didn't realize that.
I guess he was he Dean Smith's first really big-time player? I mean, pretty much.
Before my time.
Yeah.
He was there 62 to 65.
Yeah.
Was Dean there?
Yeah.
Those years?
When did Dean start? 61? 62? Somewhere in there.
I don't know. I didn't know it was that.
We know that one year
early.
What was the whole story? That legend, like they hung him in effigy after his first year or two at Carolina.
For some reason, I don't know, and I can't remember the year, but I think did he follow Frank McGuire?
Yes.
It seemed to me like maybe I'm wrong. Lenny will have to tell us.
Yes,
he did follow Frank McGuire
because Lenny says Cunningham was a white man that could jump.
Yeah.
Whole new movie.
Yeah, whole new movie, baby. But ain't white men can't jump in his case.
I was trying to think if McGuire, who was the coach when North Carolina lost to South Carolina, and that was Smith. Was that Dean?
Yeah,
because that was in the 70s,
yeah.
So that had to be him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dean started in 61.
61, okay.
To 97.
Yeah, McGuire went straight from North Carolina to South Carolina, I think.
Yeah, well, he spent a lot of time at South Carolina, didn't he?
Yeah.
And where was he from originally?
New York City.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, he recruited all those New York City players.
So Chapel Hill and Columbia, either one reminds you of New York City, though, right? So.
Yeah. But all those guys that made up the crux of the 1957 North Carolina championship team that defeated Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain in Kansas for the title.
Okay, I'm going to throw a bizarre question out there. Was Dean Smith on that team?
What team?
The Kansas team with Wilt.
He might have been.
Well,
I think he was.
He went to Kansas, right?
He won a title at Kansas.
As a player?
Yes.
Yeah. That'd be it. No, they lost that.
They lost in triple overtime.
Must have been the year before.
Might have been.
He won. It says his title was in 52. He was there 53. Let's see, 49 to 53 is when he played for Kansas.
Okay.
He wasn't on the team.
Okay.
No.
We're a little late.
Yep.
With the Dean Smith, there wasn't on
played
that team.
For who did he play for at Kansas?
Probably Rupp. I mean, not Rupp, but
yeah,
you know who I'm thinking about. What's the name of the
Fog Allen?
Fog Allen.
Fog Allen.
No,
he didn't play for Rupp in Kansas, did he?
No.
Had my legends mixed up there. Slip of the
All
tongue.
three have arenas named after them. Dean Smith,
I think
Fog Allen,
and
Adolph Rupp.
Yeah, I think Dean was the assistant coach at Kansas before he came to Carolina.
Yeah, 53 to 55.
Yeah.
Then he went to Air Force.
Okay.
For 4 years. Then an assistant at Carolina for 4 years.
Before he got the top job.
That's South Carolina?
North Carolina. Never at South Carolina.
You're talking about
Dean Smith.
You're talking about Dean, not McGuire now.
Kansas, Air Force, and then North Carolina.
Because Lenny says he thinks McGuire went to the pros for a while before going to South Carolina.
Could be. I'm not sure about that.
Yep, same here. I don't.
Is his MC or MA? Frank McGuire.
MC.
MC.
Ain't it mine?
Al McGuire was MA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if he was MA. Missing in action. That'd be MIA. But Dean also coached at Air Force, says Lenny. You guys just mentioned that.
Yeah, Frank McGuire coached the Philadelphia Warriors for 2 seasons.
Okay.
In between North and South Carolina.
So did the Warriors become the Sixers, or is that two different teams?
I think they almost would have had to become.
And did the
Sixers.
Warriors wouldn't move out of Philadelphia, would they, and go to another play? They didn't go to Golden State, did they?
No.
Well, Mike teams left New York City back in the day
that's
and
true.
went to the West Coast.
Yeah.
Brooklyn Dodgers.
They moved to San Francisco.
Oh, it was them then.
Yeah.
So the Philadelphia Warriors moved to San Francisco.
And became.
Did they have 2 teams at the time? That's what I wanted. Were the Sixers already?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, they were
in
around
place.
then.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about that? Philadelphia had 2 NBA teams at one time.
And the Sixers, weren't they an ABA for a while? I don't know details on the whole ABA.
They did merge. You're right. They could have been.
They did merge.
I don't know.
But I think the Sixers were an ABA.
All I remember is the
team.
Carolina Cougars and the Kentucky Colonels.
Yep.
I don't know if I can tell you any other ABA.
Yeah, and I saw earlier when I was looking
they probably were because I think Doc played in
ABA.
Dr. J played in ABA, and he was probably in Philly.
Yeah.
At the time of that.
I saw Billy Cunningham also coach the Carolina Cougars at one time.
As I recall, Larry Miller, who was a star for Dean in the mid-'60s, played for one of those teams. I think it was the Carolina Cougars.
I was thinking Kentucky.
The Warriors started in 1946 as the Philadelphia Warriors. They moved to Golden State, or they moved to San Francisco in '62.
Okay.
Yeah, he said Philly became the San Francisco Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Lenny puts on here.
And then I guess they moved to Oakland in '74. And I guess is that when they changed their name to Golden State? '74? I don't.
Could have been.
I remember, I don't even remember them being anything but Golden State myself. I mean, because. Tell me, I may be wrong on this. The legendary Rick Barry, long time for Golden State.
Oh
right?
for sure.
So that's the picture I see is him shooting the underhanded free throws.
Yeah,
at the free throw,
or a jumper from the corner,
or as they called them then, the granny free throws or whatever it was. But yeah, his jumpers from the corner were normal. Shots.
A lot of those.
And
he played for the Warriors when they were San Francisco in '65 to '67. Then he left for a while and then came back when they were the Golden State Warriors, '72 to '78.
Lenny, Brett, Mike, nobody still has told me their pick of the 5 to win the NBA.
Oh, I'm picking the Lakers.
To win the NBA. You went with your heart now.
He went with his heart.
But it may be.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
I think they could.
But, I mean, I think Denver's the best team.
Yeah. Best team don't always win, but the best team should win when it's a series. Yeah, but you can kick yourself in the butt if you just like.
And they have the best. They have the best offensive player left.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But which is going to win this title, offense or defense?
Well, that's why I'm picking the Lakers because they have the best defensive team.
There you go.
In the playoffs.
There you go.
What happened?
But I don't want to. Joel Embiid is. He's had an awesome year, and he's been great in the playoffs too.
That's true.
And, I mean, seeing him and Jokic match up would be a great finals.
Yeah,
but obviously, I don't want that to happen.
No. Can Miami?
That was my pick.
Yeah,
that was my pick.
Yeah,
and nothing more than Jimmy Butler and his effort that he will put forth. He gets hurt, scratch it.
Yep.
Well, no matchup would surprise me now. The one team that was left that would have surprised me would have been the Knicks. They were the one team I thought was not as good as everybody else left in the playoffs.
But evidently they weren't too much.
I mean, Phoenix didn't play great, but they had
wind up
so much star power.
4-2?
Yeah, 4-2.
So they did win 2 games against Miami.
You guys realize the Lakers are only the second number 7 seed to make it to a conference finals since '84.
Only the second 7.
Number 7.
So it's a trivia question. Who was the other?
Yep.
Don't answer that if you're reading it.
I am. I won't answer it.
Yep. I would just ask you this: were they from the East or the West?
West.
Were they? So both are from the West. So. And since what year?
84.
84.
Only the second one, not the second number 7 seed to reach a conference final.
Phoenix.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, what
threw one out there.
What was the year? Does it tell that?
1987.
87.
That should, maybe that helps. I don't know.
The West team in '87 that was seeded. Watch it be the Lakers.
Lakers, yeah. Was it the Lakers?
It was not the Lakers.
Think about that one. Don't give us the answer. That's
San Antonio.
That's a good one.
No.
I don't even think they were good yet.
I don't either.
What, do they have David Robinson yet in '87? I thought maybe it was
might be around
early in his career.
It could be around the time. It could be around the time he came along. Lenny says Larry Miller played for Carolina Cougars as well as Jumpin' Joe Caldwell. Jumpin' Joe Caldwell. So we got Kangaroo and Jumpin' Joe this morning with our nicknames. Back in the time when everybody had a nickname. It's kind of like a town of High Shoals. Everybody's got a nickname that's from High Shoals. It'd be easy. We're going to wind up going through all the NBA teams till we get this trivia question. I'm just going to read the teams real quick and try and see if I can if one of them stands out to me.
There's one of them.
It wasn't Minnesota. You know, I can process of elimination there. I can throw one.
Well, it wasn't the Clippers.
Yeah. Portland.
Nope.
Okay. Clippers have never been that far.
They've never been.
And not until a few years ago.
Lenny, get that one for us.
Yeah, Lenny.
Give him the question one more time.
All right. Lakers are the only
first 7 seed.
Are the only the second number 7 seed to reach the conference finals since CD began in 1984. Joining which team?
And you'd already told us the year was 87. The year was 87, which should help.
Yeah, that should.
Especially if you're a historian and watch the playoffs.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the game
religiously. I mean, we can sit here and name them all.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I can do because I don't know. Houston,
Seattle.
Yes,
Seattle.
See, that's a trick question too because they don't exist anymore.
The
Seattle Supersonics.
I was going to give you that hint. This team is no longer around.
They are. They're just a different name in Oklahoma City, right?
Right.
Same franchise.
Yep. Now,
who were some of the stars on that team? That's what I can't get.
Detlef.
No, wait, was he there yet?
What was his last name?
Xavier McDaniel. Was he? No.
I don't think Detlef Shrimp was there yet.
Shrimp. He was like 7 foot tall and he was a shrimp.
Yeah.
I like to see his family. Right. They're all shrimp. So I mean. So. Is that how it's pronounced? It wasn't shrimp, was it?
Shrimp. It had an
shrimp
F on the end.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, he was there 93 to 99.
Okay, so it was before his time.
Yeah.
6 years
who
before.
Was on the 87 Supersonics?
That's
Tuffy.
That's trivia in itself right there. I can't name one. I really can't. I mean, when I hear him, I'll say, yeah, I remember him playing there, but I can't think of one at this point. Jack Sikma, says Don Revels. Would Jack Sikma have been on that?
I don't know. I thought
been on that team.
Wouldn't that have been a little late for him?
Lenny, using words well here, the Kangaroo Kid also jumped from the NBA to the Cougars.
Yep.
He didn't hop, but he
jumped.
He jumped.
Didn't you say Xavier McDaniel?
Mike did.
That's just one I threw out there.
He was on there?
Yeah.
I thought he was.
Wow. That's hard to believe he was there. And what was his nickname?
X-Man.
X-Man. Yeah.
Nate McMillan, who later coached.
Nate McMillan. Yeah, now we should remember that because Nate McMillan was, he went to NC State.
Yeah,
that's right.
He was a really good pro.
He was.
He was a really
long career.
Yeah, long career.
He played for Jim Valvano at State. You're right.
Oh. I guess with the timing there, he probably did.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. We're talking about
was he on their title team?
Mid-'80s.
No, I think he
was not on the
title team.
Yeah.
He was like mid-'80s.
He might have been next.
Yeah.
He might have been, he might have been a recruit they got because they won.
He might have played with Chris Washburn.
That's
might
possible.
have been on the same team.
That's possible. Yeah.
Well,
Seattle needs an NBA team back, guys. I miss the Seattle, and I hope they use the same name when they get one.
I love that name, Supersonic.
That was his first year, the 86-87 season.
McMillan's.
Yeah.
Yep.
He even coached, didn't he? Didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he go on to coach the NBA?
He might still be coaching.
Could still be.
Wow.
Tom Chambers.
Okay.
Dale Ellis.
I know the name Tom Chambers. Dale Ellis, I remember. Tom Chambers.
Tennessee.
Huh?
Dale Ellis played at Tennessee.
Where'd Tom Chambers play, though? That name's
Utah.
He played at Utah, the University of Utah. And I can only name you one guy that played at Utah, and I really can't even name him right now. I can just see him. He was in the NCAA tournament with Utah. I think Carolina beat him in the Final Four. What was his name?
Van Horn.
Van Horn. Keith
Van Horn.
Tom Chambers averaged 23 that year for Seattle, so that's probably their leading scorer.
Wow.
Gerald Henderson.
Impressive. Gerald Henderson was on that team.
Eddie Johnson.
Yep. Lenny says same thing. Chambers played at Utah.
That's about all the names that stand out to me. Curtis Kitchen, was that? I mean, I don't know.
Curtis Kitchen.
Maurice Lucas. I don't know these guys.
Maurice Lucas. Now, did he play for the Sixers for a while?
He did.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's out of Marquette. This was late in his career.
Yeah, but it had to be.
Well, while you're looking up more interesting facts, I'm going to let you know that the Reds beat the Marlins last night 7-4. Seattle 9, Detroit 2. The Mets beat the Nationals 3-2. The poor old Pirates lose to the Orioles last night 6-3. Do you know the Pirates started 20-8? Now they are 21-18.
Oh, yeah.
Rough 9-game stretch.
It has been
for the Pirates right there. After
11-game stretch.
Yeah.
1-10 in their last 11.
Yeah.
And
I was subtracting instead of adding the two together.
Someone hit for a cycle for.
Oh, our topic we just discussed, about 2 or 3 weeks ago? And
the
somebody does it?
Of it, yeah.
Cedric Mullins.
It is way more common than the no-hitter.
Yep.
I found that out because we looked through the names and they were everywhere.
Yeah, and I see people have great games all the time that I think that's better than hitting for the cycle.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
no
you
doubt.
have 2 home runs and 2 doubles or
better.
something like that.
That's
Yeah, that's better than
but
the cycle.
But it's just unique.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I know a triple is hard. It's hard to hit a triple.
It's so unique that players sometimes might even stop at a base.
Yeah.
If they've got the triple already, they might stop if they only need one thing. Hit the ball to the wall and stop it first. Would that be making a mockery of the game if you did that? Or
I think if you have a big lead,
it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or a big deficit.
And Cedric Mullins shows here he flew out in his first at bat.
Wow.
So his didn't start until the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
A single in the 3rd.
I am not familiar with Cedric Mullins.
A triple in the 5th. A double in the 7th. And a home run in the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, he hit a home run.
And what was the score of the game? They win or lose?
They won 6-3.
I don't guess his home run was a 3-run homer that gave them the.
They were actually.
Or a grand slam.
Well, they were ahead 3-2, and he hit a 3-run homer to make it 6-2, and then the Pirates came in and scored a run.
Okay.
In the top of the 9th.
So an Oriole.
Yep.
I guess the question would be, who was the last Oriole?
Hit for the cycle.
Yeah. Yeah, and how far back does it go? Because that's kind of trivia that that the Sports Center people would pop up on you right quick. First one to hit for the cycle since.
Yep.
No, it's Cedric Mullins is from Greensboro and played at Campbell.
Really?
Yep.
How about that?
He's 28 years old.
He went from
5'8", 175.
From being a Camel to a Oriole, right?
Still orange.
That's right.
Let's see where he went to high school.
Hitting 268 on the season. That helped that probably helped it out a lot last night.
I'm going to say Bakersfield, California. That's because when I covered the Legion last year at Campbell, one of the guys I got to talking to a lot was from he was a coach at Campbell, and he was from Bakersfield.
Well, I told you, it said he was born in Greensboro.
Yeah,
born in Greensboro.
That don't mean he stayed there, but he probably did go to North Carolina High School. Maybe Page.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Grimsley.
His Wikipedia page.
I'll look at his bio.
You probably find it on his bio on MLB Reference if Wikipedia don't have his high school. Was watching this one when it happened. The Yankees hit a home run. I think it was the bottom of the 8th last night.
Oh, he didn't play in North Carolina.
Did he not?
Brookwood, where he went to high school.
Oh.
I think
just right up here?
Yeah.
It was right up the way.
I think it said Georgia. Snellville,
Mile
Georgia.
away.
Snellville, Georgia.
Yep.
That's not SNAIL, right? That's SNELL?
Yep, ELL.
Okay, good.
Like the Padre pitcher.
Yes, former Tampa.
Who got beat last night.
Did he? He doesn't look like the power pitcher that he is, does he? But he can bring it.
He also went to Lewisburg College for a while. Cedric Mullins did.
How about that?
Yep.
Orioles 6, Pirates 3 in that one last night, continuing the Pirates' woes. It was the Yankees 6-5 over Tampa Bay Rays. The Braves get shut out in Toronto, 3-0. Chris Bassett tossed the second shutout of his career for the. It says here only a second shutout of his career and his first as a Toronto Blue Jay on the mound. The Angels beat the Guardians last night 5-4. Cardinals beat the Red Sox last night. What a mess. What a mess. 6-5, the Red Sox led that game going to the bottom of the ninth, Brett. They bring in Kenley Jansen. He never got an out. He never got an out, and he was removed. But he'd been pitching well, so I'm not going to knock it. Hopefully this is just,
Yeah, I heard he got his
400.
Yeah, 400 save.
400 save sometime this past week. But he did not have it last night.
He didn't get 401.
Yeah. He struggled to throw strikes when he came in, and that just led to more trouble. So when he did get strikes, they were down the middle, and Cardinals were teeing off on those. The Cubs beat the Twins 6-2. Astros over the White Sox 5-1. Astros still just 2 games over 500, but didn't they struggle some last year early on?
Yeah, I still think they'll be there. Yeah.
Well, what about the White Sox? 13-27
in the tank.
Not expected, right?
I thought their roster was pretty good.
Yep. Now the pitcher they had from NC State that was so good is where? Rodon, is that his name?
Is he with the Yankees?
He may be.
He went to the Giants for a year. But then he left the Giants.
Okay.
It seems like
so he had already been gone a year.
Yeah, he was with the Giants last year.
Yeah. I thought he was I don't know, I thought he was the type pitcher you lock up as long as you can. I mean, he seemed like
I don't know why the Giants only got him for one season.
No, I mean the White Sox though.
Why
didn't they try to lock him in? Because
I don't know.
He had a couple really good seasons early, and I just surprised.
He was an all-star each of the last 2 years.
Right.
Had a no-hitter.
Right.
2 years ago.
That's the one he blew the perfect game with 2 outs in the ninth, isn't it? He hit the guy in the ankle.
Yeah.
Brewers beat the Royals 5-1. Phillies over the Rockies 6-3. Bryce Harper broke an 8th-inning tie with a 2-run double. Boy, I tell you what, he is still my favorite player to watch.
Fun to watch.
Still my favorite player to watch. He gives it all. He's the what was the guy's name I was talking about a while ago with the Celtics?
Marcus Smart.
Yeah, he is, but more talented in his sport. I mean, and usually when you see the guys that are all that talented, they don't give that effort. That's what I love about Bryce.
So Rodon signed a 2-year deal with the Giants, but with an option to opt out after 1 year, which he did, and then he signed a 6-year deal with the Yankees.
And he's been hurt all year, says Lenny, and has not played.
Oh, has he not pitched at all?
He might have played. I don't know. Seemed like he might have played early, but he said he is injured right now and not playing with the Yankees at this time. Anyway, don't know the extent of the injury, how long he'll be out or anything like that, but since he's with the Yankees, hopefully for the next 5 seasons till that contract expires. Let's see. We got the Diamondbacks beating the Giants 7-5. The A's over the Rangers last night 9-7, and Brett's Dodgers beat the Padres last night by a score of 4-2. Brett, you might have to finish this sentence for me because it cuts off. A couple of former MVPs powered the Dodgers to a division win. So who would
that was Betts and Freeman both hit home runs.
Betts and Freeman. One should still be in Atlanta and one should still be in Boston, and they're out there carrying your Dodgers for you. And I know it's time for us to take our next break, but before we do, just real quickly run through the Major League Baseball standings.
Yeah, Rodon has not pitched yet.
Has not pitched yet. I love that money spent wisely there by the.
But it says he's just on the 15-day DL right now, so maybe he'll be back soon.
Yeah, Lenny says he thinks it's back issues.
It is.
Hasn't played
That's what
at all.
This is.
And that he's got back issues. Yeah.
Well, and it says
I know the feeling.
Anthony Rizzo hit 2 home runs last night on his bobblehead night for the Yankees. I know that makes you happy.
Yeah. I'll say Rizzo's a good player. Sometimes I don't agree with his attitude. He gets a little heated at things I wouldn't think he would, should get heated about in some of the games. But he is. I put it this way. Pretty much, he's a professional. He does his job. He hits the ball. He plays good first base. I don't know. Speaking of how you let somebody get away, how did the Cubs ever? Unless he just wanted to go somewhere. I don't know where he's from. If Rizzo is from the New York area.
They just decided to blow up their team and start over a couple years ago, and they let Chris Bryant go, Javi Baez.
That's a lot of good players right there.
Wilson Contreras. All that whole core is gone.
A lot of wins. That they just let walk away. Well, we'll see how they're doing here in just a second. Tampa Bay leads American League East 30-10, followed by Baltimore, who's 4 out, Toronto 7, Boston 7.5, and the Yankees 8. Every team. Is that where you were going?
No, I was going to say this obviously is the best division in baseball.
Because every
now.
Team's above 500. 4 games or more.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. The Yankees 22-18. That's not a terrible start by no means, but it gets you last place in the American League.
I saw Tampa put one of their starting pitchers on the 60-day DL the other day.
That's not good for a team that.
And he had been really good. Drew Rasmussen.
Yep. And let me tell you something. They have been lights out, but the Orioles are only 4 games out of first.
Yeah.
And if you're the Orioles. And Tampa has played that well and only leads you by 4 games.
Yeah,
you feeling pretty good right now.
Everything I hear is that the Orioles they're loaded with talent.
They are
young talent.
They look good. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know if
which is great.
I don't know if y'all watch any of their broadcast or not. Great crew in the booth, and I love hearing Ben McDonnell as an analyst. He is he's just really good at what he does. I enjoy listening to him. Minnesota leads the Central 21-18, followed by the Detroit Tigers. Let's go Tigers. Even though they're 17-20, that's a lot better than they've been in the past, and they are just 3 games out.
They've gained 3 games.
Yes, they have.
The last 10.
7-3 in their last 10. And who was it they swept? Somebody they went on the road, or it might have been at home, but it was a good team that they swept here recently.
The Mets?
Yeah. That's who it was. They swept the Mets. I say a good team.
Beat the Cardinals 2 out of 3. The Guardians 2 out of 3.
And the Mets,
they've been playing pretty good.
They need to be in the National League. They'd be dominating. Tigers 17-20 was 3 games out. The Guardians are 3.5 out. White Sox 8.5. Royals 9.5. In the National League, the Braves have 25 wins.
Well, you forgot the West, AL West.
Did I? Okay, I did. Texas Rangers. Thank you, Mike. There must be somebody here Mike's wanting me to mention. Texas Rangers lead it 23-15. The Angels are 2.5 out. The Astros 3 back. The Mariners 4 back. Great division. And then there's Oakland.
Yep.
The Las Vegas Athletics are 15 games out of first place. The Braves lead the National League East 25-13. Brett, can you do me the math on what that would be for a 162-game season? I want to know. And I know Tampa has more wins, but there's a reason I want to know this. 25-13. Philly is second. They're 6 games back. Just 500 and only 6 games back. The Mets are 6.5. The Marlins 6.5. The Nationals are 9. Milwaukee 21-17, leads the Pirates by just half a game. The Cubs are 2 back, Reds are 4 back, Cardinals are 7.5 out of first. In the West, it's the Dodgers at 24-15. They lead the Diamondbacks by 3.
About 106 wins.
106, so not close to 120 at that point. They got to pick it back up because one of the guys on Dan Patrick said he would take a pie in the face if they didn't at least tie that record. That Seattle had? How many wins was it they got? In
117 or something like that?
118, I think. I think it's 118.
And which team? The Braves, is he?
Yeah. That's just before the season started.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they got off to a good start. They were on pace there for a while.
Well, they're playing really well, but that's so many wins.
You know, after day one, Aaron Judge was on pace to hit 162 home runs. Did you know that? Because he had one. There's a lot of people on pace to hit 162 home runs after day one. Let's see. Moving on down here, where'd they end up? We'll go through the Central one more time. Brewers 21-17, Pittsburgh half out, Cubs 2, Reds 4, Cardinals 7.5. Then the Dodgers lead the West.
Guys, what's wrong with the Cardinals? Such a great organization.
I don't know. I do not know. There is. Okay, you lost 2 Hall of Famers. I know their production wasn't where it once was, but you lost Molina and Pujols.
That's right.
You know, and I don't. Maybe they were leaders. You know, and maybe they're
have more indefinable than just stats.
Yes, right. And Molina was great behind the plate. You know.
Yeah, and he had been there forever. I mean, his whole career. Pujols probably not as big of a loss because he left for 10 or 12 years and then came back.
I got a Yadier jersey when I was 3. So yeah, he'd been there a while. The Dodgers 24-15, Diamondbacks 3 out, Padres 5 out, Giants 6.5, and the Rockies 8 games out of first. So, out of all that, and we're going to take that time out. Who is your surprise, one way or the other? And don't go with Tampa.
No,
you know, because Tampa would be everybody's on the win side. Not that I didn't think. I thought they might be in first place, but I didn't think they'd have 30 wins.
I'm still going with Pittsburgh, 40. Even though they're fading. I mean,
yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. That's a good one in the positive.
Well,
on the positive side,
Baltimore being 12 games over 500.
Yeah. And I'll go the other way then, and I'm going with the Cardinals because you don't generally see the Cardinals at 25 losses in their first 39 games.
They're digging themselves such a hole. That's.
And we talked about their manager a couple weeks ago. I don't know if we came up with the name, but we talked about Schilt, how he had been gone now 2 years.
Yep.
Cardinals made the playoffs last year, didn't they? Under the first-year manager, I can't think of it.
Yeah.
I think they made the playoffs last year. But let's see. Lenny says, and here we're going to take the time out as soon as I finish, Rizzo goes back farther than Chicago. He should be a Red Sox, yeah. He was sent to San Diego in the Adrian Gonzalez trade. Wow. Seattle won 116, I think. It may have been 116. For some reason, I have 118 in my mind. And then I don't know this one. Lenny says, see if you guys know what this is the answer to. Oliver Marmol, M-A-R.
Yeah, that's the Cardinals manager.
Cardinals manager. Thank you, Lenny.
This says the Mariners and the Cubs are tied for most wins in a season with 116.
When did the Cubs?
I don't know.
They didn't do it when they won the World Series, did they?
I didn't think so. No, 1906.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mike, you remember that, right? The Cubs, 116 wins.
That was right around the time they became the Cubs.
Was it?
Remember the
trivia about changing the name because they were young?
The Jeopardy question.
Yeah. All right, let's take a time out. Appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk. Come back, we're going to run down the high school action from last night right here.
Hi, folks. This is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of RE/MAX Crossroads. As you know, interest rates are on the rise. However, if you are renting a home, your interest rate is 100%. If you are thinking about buying a home, even if you think you can't afford one, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents and discuss your options. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
It's art for the whole family. Bring the family to the Foothills Folk Art Festival today in downtown Newton from 10 till 4. See nearly 70 renowned folk artists from around the Southeast. There'll be demonstrations, art activities for the kids, live music, food trucks, a beer garden, and more. Come to the square in downtown Newton for a great day of art. The festival is presented by the Hickory Museum of Art and Downtown Newton Development Association. Admission is free. Sunday's Mother's Day, so it just might be something special for Mom at the Foothills Folk Art Festival today in downtown Newton.
Mark it down. Friday, May 26th, it's Milwaukee Tool Day at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. One day and one day only. Milwaukee Tool sales representatives will be on hand and offering free demonstrations and help answer any question you may have. Plus, right now, Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply has a big new shipment of pine needles. And don't forget about their rentals. Do it yourself. Rent it from Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply. 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry is not just a name, it's the way you're treated the minute you walk in. A full-service dental practice with over 20 years experience and lifelong resident of Catawba and Lincoln County. His commitment and caring run deep in the community. Located at the intersection of Highway 150 and Business 16 in Denver, he's convenient to where you are. Open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5, so look no further for your dentist than Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry. Call 704-489-9919 for your appointment or more information. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Kale Insurance, Lincoln. Call 704-732-4646 or visit kaleinsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
And welcome back to Sports Talk. David, Mike, Brett, and Sullivan in the house.
Oh, yeah.
As well. About to drop my cord there. I'll need that in a minute. High school playoffs, second round yesterday in baseball action. And since it is high school baseball playoffs, we will maybe just run through every one of them here for you. Let's see, with the exception of a few.
Is there a place to see it in some kind of order?
No, it's
other than
random.
random.
Preps,
Yeah.
It's just random.
Random seems
Random order. How's that?
Yeah, it would be neat if they had a column of each class.
Yeah,
I don't know what they would have.
that'd be
What's
together.
up with the
It would.
NCHSAA emails? I mean, I hadn't.
James Alverson left the building.
Yeah, well, they got a lot of money. They can find a replacement to send out these results and pairings.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why we don't get that. I miss those emails you get with the, you get the pairings, and what's the form called, Mike, when they send you the pairings?
What is that called? HTML text? Yeah. No,
I'm talking about the print.
Oh, yeah.
Is it agate or something like that? Is that
Agate.
Is that how you say that?
That's how you say it.
Agate. I don't know. Better stay away from that word.
Yeah. Be careful on that word. Yeah.
But yeah, it would be great if they just had 4 columns on their scoreboard screen, and it showed you each classification. And in a couple of years they would need 7 columns. Get it? Being hopeful here.
Yeah.
I want to see the 7 columns when we get to 7 classes in North Carolina. I can't wait if that does come to fruition. Starmount 13, Bethany, who I know nothing about whatsoever, but she's not very good. 13-4 last night in that one. North Stokes over Christ the King, 16-6. Northmore 8, Gates County 1. Cape Fear over West Carteret, Mike Powell, 5-3.
Max Cady is smiling
on the mound last night.
Yeah,
for Cape Fear.
Leading. I don't know what Cape Fear's nickname is, but
I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say the leading hitter.
Leading hitter. Yeah.
Took a couple slugs at
Katie
somebody.
liked to hit too.
That's right. South Brunswick over Carborough, 6-5. Highland Tech going to the 3rd round.
Yeah, that is the big surprise.
How about that? Going to the 3rd round of the 1A playoffs. Highland Tech beats South Stokes 1-0.
Hey, do you realize that both Highland Tech and Cherryville win?
They'll play
Tuesday,
each other.
They'll play each other.
That's great. That's great.
Highland Tech, though, that good for them.
Must have a pretty solid number 2 pitcher there. 1-0 shutout.
They must
in that game yesterday.
The Rams.
Orange defeated Triton 9-8. Mike, are you going with me this year to the American Legion State Tournament? It just hit me because Triton is one of the high schools I pass.
You're presuming that we'll have a representative, right?
Should I throw if we have a representative in there? Should I throw that in?
Well, I figured, yeah.
Cape Fear Colts.
Beautiful. Is it really?
Yeah.
Beautiful downtown, miserably hot.
Greenville,
Bowie's Creek.
Bowie's Creek. It's going back to Bowie's Creek.
Going back to Bowie's Creek. I repeat. Great place, though. Great place.
Is it?
You'd love everything about it.
Is it like a college town, sort of? For Campbell, yeah.
It'd have to be a college town.
Yeah, there's nothing else there. Right?
No, I'm just saying there's a college
in
a town.
Mm-hmm.
That pretty much sews that up.
Yep.
Let's see. West Brunswick falls to J.H. Rose 4-2. Riverside Martin loses to Northside Pinetowns 8-7. Ledford over Tuscola 2-1. South Lee over First Flight 11-1. We are on high school baseball playoffs 2nd round. I'll skip a few of these that you know nothing about.
Right.
South Granville over West Craven 6-3. Garner over Heritage 1-0. I got to give this one. You don't see these every day in the playoffs. Union Academy 20. Corvian Community, 6.
And by the way, that's Cherryville's next opponent.
Is it?
Union Academy.
Be interested to know what their record and stuff like that is.
Too.
Just because they won 20-6, really don't tell you a whole lot.
Corvian Community, I don't know what that is.
But we know Corvian won round 1.
They did
to be there. I don't think there's any buys, are there, Brett, in the 1A?
No.
Northwest Guilford beat West Forsyth 7-1.
Union Academy's 13-11.
Okay. I'll take the Ironman. Whiteville Falls, Mike. You get that? Green Central. That's 2 really good programs.
That is.
Green Central beats Whiteville 4-3 in that one. Where is the young man from Whiteville that went to the Padres? Is he still in San Diego?
Nope.
I thought he was going somewhere else.
Is it Washington, maybe?
Mackenzie Gore.
Yeah.
Right? Is the name of him.
He was part of a trade. I think he was part of the Juan Soto trade last year. That was last year during the season. I think he went to Washington.
Right, as a trade deadline thing, wasn't it? Where they get Soto to play.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. Yeah, I didn't know that. Seems like he's got a lot of potential though.
The
size of him and the left-handed. And
he's
all that kind of stuff.
He's going to be good. Hopefully, injuries that don't hinder his career.
Exactly.
Because he's already had some.
That's not good. If he's already had the injury.
He's 3-2 this year in 8 starts. Let's see. Trying to find his ERA.
We got closed captioning because Lenny says just what you did. It's almost like closed captioning. He needs to come into our closed captioning. Washington Nationals in the Juan Soto deal.
Yeah. 3.29 ERA this year. 51 strikeouts in 41 innings.
Richard Howe says we can go to high school OT.
That's where I'm at.
And
That's
they
went.
show you just the brackets.
It's got
the only
the
thing
bracket.
that used to
But it
worry
doesn't
me about
have-
high school OT is no, I'm thinking something different. Never mind. High school OT is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the score streams, the one that used to bother me. Because you'd scroll down and look, and you'd see a score, and it would surprise you, and then you read under it, and fine print, like a little bitty ant that said JV.
Really?
Yeah, and all of a sudden you go into scores that happened last week or last month, and
I never did score stream.
It's
no, high school OT looks like it's missing. I'm just on 1A right now,
right?
But it's missing
2 games,
a game or two, a result from last night.
And my guess, they probably get their scores off of Max Preps.
Sure they do.
And they load them, but they just load them in a really good order.
Better order for you.
And it's got Holland Tech's next opponent as the winner of Eastern Randolph and Hayesville. And it says Eastern Randolph 2-1, but it looks like maybe that game got suspended.
What makes you think it got suspended?
It doesn't have a winner in the bracket next to Highland Tech, and that score is in orange, and the rest of them are in gray, which makes me think it's the game's still going on.
Ooh, they got to figure that one out.
Which would have been in Hayesville, so maybe they got a storm during the game. And
tell me the opponent, Hayesville,
Eastern Randolph.
Eastern Randolph. Eastern Randolph's good in everything.
Yeah,
they are, and they're 1A now, right?
Yeah,
they sure are. East Carteret beat West Bladen 8-1. Rosewood over Bear Grass Charter. Our
love
favorite
that
name here.
Bear Grass Charter.
11-5. I don't have any bear grass though. I hope. I'm not trying to attract them.
I got anything but bear grass.
You know who Rosewood's next opponent's going to be?
Rosewood will be taking on
Falls Lake Academy.
Falls Lake Academy, who won yesterday by a score of
3-1 over North Duplin.
Okay. Is there a reason you brought up Falls Lake?
There's just so many of these schools that I don't know where they are.
If you got multiple words in
Oxford
your name,
Prep.
You're most likely a charter.
There's an Oxford Prep
or private. North Lincoln season came to an end last night on the road at West Henderson, 8-0. Wilson Prep defeated Warren County 10-0. Ardrey Crail loses to Reagan. Reagan wins at 8-2. Northern Nash 10. Burlington Williams 7. Alexander Central falls to Providence 3-2.
Tough loss there.
TC Roberson. Seems like every year we see those guys go pretty far in the baseball playoffs. And last night they win 5-2. They're the number 9 team in the state, regardless of classification. So that's pretty good for TC Roberson. Unique stadium too. If you ever get a chance to go watch a game there, that's pretty.
Is it built against them? What's the setting of their stadium? It makes.
No, it's not got anything to do with the mountains or anything.
Okay.
It's just the shape of the ballpark, and it's not a big park either. It's kind of small. It's just really compact, neat looking.
Right.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going because not seen them play there, but I've seen Asheville Legion play there a few times.
Okay.
Number 1, New Hanover beats Durham Jordan 5-0. Lee County falls to Terry Sanford 6-3. North Iredale. We talked about them on a break. North Iredale 1-0. This is a team that finished about 4th or 5th.
4th or 5th in the Western Foothills.
Yep. That shows you how good that league was.
We said it was a pretty solid league.
1-0. North Iredale beats Northwest Cavaris. Chatham. I bet this was a heated rivalry yesterday. Chatham Charter beats Chatham Central 7-4. There were probably some words exchanged.
They knew each other.
And I'm just guessing. Farmville Central 6, Southwest Edgecombe 5, Wake Forest 11-0 over Fuquay.
Farmville Central is a 26 seed.
26 seed and going to the third round.
Oh, whoa.
Must have brought their basketball players to go along.
Must have picked up a few basketball players.
Sorry to inform this one, West Stanley eliminates East Rutherford. East Rutherford is number 15th ranked in the state.
That's kind of a surprise.
And, West Stanley had a real good record, if I'm not mistaken. You might want to check that and see.
They were the 5 seed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were a higher seed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Higher seed, but not ranked like East Rutherford is.
Like
That's
East
just
Rutherford.
it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
3-1 West Stanley wins that one yesterday.
And RS Central also lost.
They did.
On the other side of that.
Yep. RS Central.
And we were talking about how good we thought Rutherford County baseball
Well, Chase did
was.
win, so Chase has got to carry the load here from now on. Hopewell beats South Caldwell 11-6. Hoggard over Middle Creek 8-2. Trying to remember if most of the Hoggard players play Legion ball for Wilmington or not. That's not their bread and butter school. What's the school down there? That's
New Hanover.
New Hanover.
Yeah, really good every year in baseball. Drone 10-0 over East Wilkes. Drone going to the third round in 1A.
Yeah, Drone. I mean, you look down the road. You don't look too far, but Cherville and Drone, maybe.
McMichael, who had a major come from behind win to defeat Maiden in round 1. Mike, they were down 9-3 going to the 6th inning against Maiden. Came back and won that game.
What a comeback!
But they lose last night. No coming back last night to Lincoln Charter. Lincoln Charter 15, McMichael 6.
How good is Lincoln Charter? They're a little bit off the radar, but they must be good.
Yeah, they're in the 2A. They're
their next opponent.
They're not going to go down easy.
No.
I can tell you that right now. They're not going to go down easy. Lincoln Charter's next opponent, I'm going to guess it's going to be Chase.
Burns,
the
number 1 seed.
They'll beat Burns.
I believe they will.
Yep. Burns has struggled, man. They've won a 2-run game and a 1-run game.
Yeah.
If they don't play their best, Lincoln Charter has some studs at the plate. I'm telling you right now, they got some hitters.
Yeah, because you get them in the round.
I may be wrong, but
they scored 34 runs in 2 games.
Yeah, and they're hitting long balls too.
Could be following them to the state finals.
They're hitting some long balls. East Forsyth falls to Davie County 8-3. East Rowan 11. Now it's South Rowan last year, right? Let's get it straight.
Yep.
We followed with East Lincoln.
South Rowan. But East Rowan has the pitcher that's going to – is it going to Carolina? They got a really good pitcher at East Rowan.
Well, then the other Rowan had one going to Wake. And the one we saw had a Wake Forest pitcher, and he may be at Wake now. I can't remember if he was
East
graduating.
Rowan's got a really
Lenny
good
may
one
remember that.
right now.
Weddington loses. They win at just about everything. Yesterday they lose to Myers Park 3-1. A lot of green in the house.
They were ranked 17.
And I mean a lot of green in a couple different ways.
Mm-hmm. Double meaning.
Topsail over Chapel Hill 9-1. Burns beats East Gaston 2-1. Conference game. That's tough, you know. I saw somebody open with a conference game.
Yeah.
Can't recall right off the top of my head, but somebody had a conference matchup. North Lincoln and Hickory.
Well, yeah, that's
North Lincoln and Hickory open. It was the third meeting between the two, the rubber match. That was on Tuesday.
Stuart Kramer and Kings Mountain also had an opening round match like that.
Well, Kings Mountain won that one because they won again yesterday. They beat Carson 2-1. Topsail over Chapel Hill 9-1. South Stanley loses to Cherville. Cherville going to the third round. No shocker there. I don't know if anybody's in the way of Cherville, Mike, and making it. It would be great to see a Cherville.
They won 13 in a row. Every game's at home as long as they win.
It'd be great to see a Cherville Highland matchup. Though,
I know.
You know,
I would love to
whatever
see
round
that.
it might fall in.
That would be the fourth, wouldn't it? If it.
And this is one year that Cherville don't have to worry about a Lincoln Charter or anything because Lincoln Charter's up
2A.
into the 2A class now. So
sounds like they might have to worry about Drone though.
Yeah, but Drone. I'll take the veteran team that's been in that position more than I'll take the newcomer, you know. Cuthbertson over Hickory Ridge 4-2. Moorhead over East Surrey 2-1. Oak Grove, you better watch out for this team.
Yeah.
Oak Grove over West Rowan 13-5. Who did they beat in the first round? They beat somebody local.
They beat East Lincoln. It was like 8-0.
East Lincoln 8-0. That's exactly right. Let's see, going on down through here. Uwharrie Charter beats Bishop McGinnis 10-4. We're giving you these because they're in the public playoffs. Corinth Holders, who I saw play in the state championship a few years ago to Mooresville. Mooresville won that, by the way. They beat Apex Friendship 6-3, as opposed to Apex Hateful Guys.
Apex Friendship.
Because there is an Apex High School, and then you have Apex Friendship.
Now, where's this Corinth Holders out of?
Oh, that way. Down.
I knew it was down east.
That's all I can tell you. In the Raleigh area, maybe?
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure. Shelby eliminated. They lose to East Davidson 5-1 yesterday. Millbrook falls to Pinecrest 4-3. Pinecrest is your 5th-ranked team in the state of North Carolina, per Max Preps. Currituck County over Wilson Hunt 9-8. Can you imagine scoring 8 in the playoff game and getting beat by a run, a single run? North Johnston loses to South Lenoir 15-3. Here's the one that got me. St. Stephen's goes down.
Me too.
They
Number
were
1 seed.
They were clearly the best team in the conference. Now they got North Iredale, still playing.
And Ford.
And Ford still playing. Out of that conference, but St. Stephen's at North Davidson eliminated 13-11. And I'm sure with their team, they never expected to score 11 runs and lose.
I don't think so.
Chase beats Mount Pleasant 6-2. Fred T. Ford, coming out of that very tough Western Foothills, whips South Point 12-2. Yeah, 12-2. I did not expect that. Whipped them real good.
Yeah.
Randleman over Forbush 13-3. Randleman, defending state champs in 2A, still alive after all those good players to graduation.
Corinth Holders is on the other side of Raleigh.
That's a big area.
A little below Zebulon.
Okay. I thought it was Raleigh area. Is it in Wake County?
Kind of middle of nowhere. Johnston County.
Johnston, okay. Midway beats East Bladen 10-0. And the second Rutherford team eliminated on the same day, East Rutherford and also RS Central. RS Central goes down to West Stokes 8-1, leaving, as Mike said earlier, just Chase alive. Now, did Thomas Jefferson make the 1A playoffs? I don't think they made it, did they? Okay. But I noticed I didn't read their score, right there anyway, even if they would have made it, they did not make it to the second round. But I was thinking, like Mike said, that they did not. They didn't have a real good season, did they?
No, they weren't very good.
Okay.
They were near the bottom of the Southern Foothills 1A2A.
You need to drink coffee, Mike.
I do.
You about to lose that. About to lose that voice over there. What's the date of today? Help me. 13th.
Yeah.
Okay. So I did go to the right day here. We're going to give you a few softball. Not going to run through every one, like we just did. But I will have to say this: Oak Grove softball still playing as well. Oak Grove 7, Southern Guilford 4. There's a guy, a sports writer, Mike, over there in the Davidson County area, Lexington. What else is over in there? All the Davidson schools. I think, is Oak Grove in Davidson County?
I don't know.
Anyway, Mike Dupre, you know him? Do you know him at all? Sat beside him several times covering high school baseball.
It isn't Davidson.
Is it? Yeah. But he said Oak Grove, where they built that school, was always going to be good in athletics because they get the cream of the crop out of that Davidson County. And
it says it was
looks to be happening
to help with overcrowding at Ledford and North Davidson.
Yeah, and those two are very good in athletics as well. So if you draw from those two schools, that helps you a lot. Lenny says the guy I was trying to think of earlier was Hayden LaFew, the left-hander at South Row. That was going to Wake. He was a junior last year, so he's still there. As far as we know, he's still there. Richard said, I said Eastern Randolph good historical, yes, but they're only 5-17 this year, 2-10 in conference. But they're still alive, according to – that's the one that's in the middle of the game?
Yeah, it said they were ahead 2-1.
Ahead
at Hayesville.
2-1. Yeah, Mike, I don't know this. They probably play in a 1A, 2A combination conference where they could be losing some of those games to 2As. I don't know that. It's just my guess that might be what's doing them. But still, you expect to go better than that if you're going to be – if you even win one playoff game, But it looks like they still haven't won the second one yet. That it is.
It looks like
ongoing.
The East Rowan pitcher is going to NC State, not North Carolina.
Yeah, Rowan's blessed with good arms. I'll say that just shows up on their Legion team as well.
Mako, M-A-K-O is the last name.
M-A-K-O. Better get Mako.
It says.
Better get Mako.
It says East Rowan senior pitcher Chance Mako is part of every prospect list for the 2023 MLB draft that will be held in July. Some have Mako in the top 50 of all high school players in the country.
Wow. Let's see.
So he's committed to NC State, but I guess that
was a lot of commitment. That's those verbal commitments. They are
that could change.
Yeah. Don't bet any money on those verbal commitments. Let's see. Western Alamance in softball beat West Carteret 5-0. Mooresville loses to Cuthbertson 5-4. Weddington loses. East Forsyth beats Weddington 1-0. Rockingham County over North Davidson 7-2. Lady Ironman go down, Mike. They lose to East Wilkes by a score of 12-2 last night. Yep. Pretty good season, though.
Oh, yeah.
For the Lady Ironman, I would say.
Pretty good, solid year.
Wake Forest, Mike, I've been in your shoes. I hate it when that voice don't work right. I've been there. Wake Forest 3-0 over Hoggard. This is the high school Wake Forest. Hoggard's not good enough. They were forced to play a university in the second round. It wasn't as good a day for Fred T. Ford softball as it was their baseball. Ford goes down 14-1 to West Rowan. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret here. West Rowan might be loaded. They won the girls' basketball.
They did.
But Fred T. Ford's the only team beat East Lincoln girls.
I know.
And they got smoked yesterday by West Rowan.
Which tells you something about West Rowan softball.
Yeah, exactly. And probably some of those girls from the state championship basketball team.
I'll guarantee you there's
field.
At least 2 or 3.
Yeah, you'd think so. Guaranteeing it. I like it. Mount Pleasant over Burns in softball 4-0. Garner over Laney 4-2. Hickory Ridge 3-0 over McDowell. South Caldwell 12-4 over Huff. It's got to make you feel good when you're South Caldwell and you can compete or really just handle a Mecklenburg team, because they get matched up so many times when they can't compete, and that's kind of sad. But you don't have to worry about that much in baseball and softball at South Caldwell.
No, not as much.
Pretty stout. East Duplin over Holmes 6-2. Northern Guilford falls to Marvin Ridge 5-2. Uwharrie Charter beats South Stanley 4-1. These are softball scores. East Lincoln over Pisgah 5-1.
So now the Lady Mustangs have only lost 1 game.
That's all. I'm pretty sure there's something in 1 all year long, and that was to Ford. And they avenged that loss. They lost to Ford pretty bad, but they came back and beat them pretty bad, I think, the second time around. McMichael beats West Lincoln 14-1. McMichael, I had it wrong. I thought they were the number 1 team in the state, period. They're number 3 in the state, period.
So the Lady Rebels ran into a buzzsaw.
They did.
Yeah.
Ned Yates just sends me some stats on the pitcher for McMichael, but Rodney Willis. Ned Yates sent me some stats. Rodney Willis sent me a textbook last night on the stats of the McMichael. He said McMichael's unbeaten. They're 25 or 26-0 now at this point. The only almost close score was a 5-1 win 2 different times. So they won two games this year by just scores of 5-1. Richard says Thomas Jefferson did make the playoffs.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
I'll just put it this way. He said you can be a bad team in 1A and still and still make it, and that's true, because they have to
got to fill out that bracket.
Got to fill out the bracket.
East Lincoln softball is 19-1.
19-1, and it was to Ford, right?
Yep, Ford.
And what was the score? 12-3?
Yeah, 12-3.
Wow, what a memory over here.
You got it going on.
12-3.
You do that roundup.
It is a little easier to remember when you read it a couple times.
Yeah, that's right. And proof it.
But,
they play West Rowan.
I was going to give you a little bit, because West Lincoln, I just want you to know, West Lincoln softball had a pretty good season.
They really did.
Under Coach Chapman. And they did run into a buzzsaw. I got to give you a few of Rodney's stats, though, on that pitcher, Dakota Redmond, 5'10". Here's the key part.
5'10".
5'10". Junior.
Oh, man.
Junior.
You
know how many strikeouts she's got so far in her career?
210.
So Rodney just sends them to me again. What's he doing? Okay, this year she's had 24 appearances, 128 innings, 21-0. ERA, you want to guess it?
Less than
0.10. Or 2.5.
Brett's closer.
What did he say?
Less than 1.
Yep.
0.71.
Okay, not bad.
Let me find it again. Yeah, 0.71 ERA. She's allowed 57 hits, only 26 walks, and I'll give you a guess on her strikeouts for this season. Guess on
how
strikeouts.
How many innings? How many games?
How many innings? 128 innings.
Yeah, I'd say she's probably got 135 or 40 strikeouts.
You want to guess, Brett? Or you
how many innings?
Leave it up to Mike. 128.
That's at least. That's more than 1 per inning.
Yeah.
230.
213.
Wow.
213.
2 an inning.
You call that pretty dominant. Yeah, call that pretty dominant.
Say that again.
Yeah, over 300 in her career. Over 300 strikeouts in her career. So that's and back again. Back again next year. And I saw on something that a lot of softball records may be broke. RBIs may be broke this year for a season or career. Mm-hmm. Home runs might be broke.
Yeah.
It's a good sport.
Oh,
and it's getting better.
I enjoy watching
It's a good sport, and it's getting better.
Yeah.
Ain't no other way to put it.
Yeah.
Tuscola beat Ashe County 4-3. South Meck falls to Alexander Central, the powerhouse, right? Alexander Central, 2-0 shutout win yesterday over South Meck. Harnett Central beats Southern Nash 2-0. Bandy's falls to West Stanley 6-0. Let's see. Trying to get you update on more scores, at least in the western part of the state. I'll give this East one. Number 14, Scotland County, 3-1 over Eastern Alamance. West Henderson and Franklin, no score listed. Drone goes down in softball to South Stokes, 9-0. Crest falls to Carson in softball, 8-0 yesterday. Cape Fear, Mike, they won in both sports.
Hey. Max Cady.
Mrs. Max Cady.
Yeah, Mrs. Max
Mrs.
Cady.
Max Cady wins with the softball team 4-0 over Person High School.
Fear the Fear. Yeah.
Fear the Fear.
What's their mascot?
Fear the Deers, the Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah. East Rutherford softball wins last night. They beat East Surrey 11-6. South Columbus over Bartlett Yancey. I think that's my favorite name in North Carolina of a high school. And it got a pirate for a logo as well.
Bartlett Yancey.
Where is Bartlett Yancey High School? They lose 12-2. So you have to tell me today.
It's funny, the one I just looked up was the Pirates.
Really?
Corinth Holders.
Yeah. Holly Springs beat Richmond County 9-7. Maiden girls advanced to the third round with a big win over RS Central 11-4 yesterday. And Perk Women's, a school Mike is familiar with, softball team beats Vance Charter 5-2 yesterday, and that rounds out.
Okay, so the Maiden Lady Blue Devils now carrying the banner for the CVAC, the only remaining.
Only one left. We were down to 3. They're the only team left. Baseball went 0-4.
Yeah, not a good showing for baseball.
Yep. Bartlett Yancey, the Buccaneers, they were navy blue and orange.
Oh, you're making me like them even more.
And it's Yanceyville in Caswell County.
Caswell County. I thought that was in Mississippi.
So that's down. Is that on the coast, Caswell County?
I don't know. I really don't. Outfielder Walter Jenkins at South Brunswick is the number 1 player in the state. This is from Lenny. I think he won the Gatorade Player of the Year last year.
I remember that name.
Even over Brooks Brannon, who was the catcher at Randleman, right? He was breaking the home run record. I don't know what he means by he was breaking. Come on, Lenny. He either did or he didn't. He was breaking. And Butch sends me a message that says, let's remember Maiden. And Maiden was on the bottom of the Max Preps, but we just talked about that. Absolutely. Maiden gets the win last night.
Bartlett, yes, he's up above.
In the softball to advance to the third round.
Just past Greens.
Butch, quick, text me. Who's their next opponent? Because Brett might know. He's got brackets. Past Reedsville?
Yeah. So I guess Caswell and Caswell County are not in the same area.
Well, you can say that about a lot of places. Yeah. Henderson and Henderson County are opposite ends of the state.
Yeah. Well, there's a Caswell Beach. That's why.
And Lenore and Lenore County. They're nowhere close either. Kinston's in Lenore County, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But Kinston's not on the way to Boone.
Nope.
Thank goodness. That might make Boone hot. Let's see.
You say Maiden softball, West Stanley.
West Stanley, yep. You said it. Butch said it at the same time. West Stanley.
Stanley's 25-1.
Are their boys and girls both still play? Did we mention their baseball team winning as well? One final timeout. Look that up as we go. We got to take that final timeout, get these spots in. We appreciate our sponsors. We got to make sure we recognize them. Thanks for tuning in to Sports Talk. Back to wrap it up in a minute.
Hi, folks. This is Will Poteet, president and co-owner of RE/MAX Crossroads. As you know, interest rates are on the rise. However, if you are renting a home, your interest rate is 100%. If you are thinking about buying a home, even if you think you can't afford one, give us a call at 704-736-1717 to speak with one of our expert agents and discuss your options. We would love the opportunity to earn your business.
It's art for the whole family. Bring the family to the Foothills Folk Art Festival today in downtown Newton from 10 till 4. See nearly 70 renowned folk artists from around the Southeast. There'll be demonstrations, art activities for the kids, live music, food trucks, a beer garden, and more. Come to the square in downtown Newton for a great day of art. The festival is presented by the Hickory Museum of Art and Downtown Newton Development Association. Admission is free. Sunday's Mother's Day, so it just might be something special for Mom at the Foothills Folk Art Festival today in downtown Newton.
Mark it down. Friday, May 26th, it's Milwaukee Tool Day at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. One day and one day only. Milwaukee Tool sales representatives will be on hand and offering free demonstrations and help answer any question you may have. Plus, right now, Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply has a big new shipment of pine needles. And don't forget about their rentals. Do it yourself. Rent it from Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply. 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry is not just a name, it's the way you're treated the minute you walk in. A full-service dental practice with over 20 years experience and lifelong resident of Catawba and Lincoln County. His commitment and caring run deep in the community. Located at the intersection of Highway 150 and Business 16 in Denver, he's convenient to where you are. Open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 5, so look no further for your dentist than Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry. Call 704-489-9919 for your appointment or more information. Daryl Hatchett Family Dentistry.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
KL Insurance, Lincoln. Call 704-732-4646 or visit KLinsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Welcome back. Butch says he thinks that Macy Michael, maiden softball player, is number 2 in overall in home runs in the state this year.
Really, how many?
They can get that.
Wow.
Didn't
42.
Did not get that. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? 42.
Well, I would think double figures, right? Yeah.
That's a good question too. Yeah, I think so. I would think so because there's a couple East Lincoln players when I get there, they're leading hitters. There's like one of them's got 2 home runs almost every game. So it seems like, I mean, I know it's not that many, but it just seems like Betsy Eatman maybe or something might be the name at East Lincoln. But I don't know. I can't get Butch to answer the breakfast question. I sent it.
Well,
I've sent it a third time, so
I got to be at Sims. But yeah, I got time for breakfast.
Well, you one told me to say
yes.
I'm
going to make time for breakfast. Yeah.
Okay. because I can't make it. I have, believe it or not, yet another funeral.
This says
starts at 11.
You have had your share of funerals this year.
According to Max Pritt, a girl from East Columbus has 19 home runs.
Pretty good.
A girl from Warren County has 18, and Macy Michael 16.
16,
wow.
so
she's
she's
right
third.
up there.
Third in the state.
I don't
16
know.
is not shabby at all.
No.
I don't know if this was
home
updated
runs.
last night or this morning, so those numbers could have changed. I don't know.
Yeah. So the numbers again were 19, 18, and 16?
Yeah.
Okay, starting at the top, 19.
And there
18,
might be some
16.
teams that don't put all their stats on here,
Right.
so that
Yeah.
There's definitely that, but who was the kid we kept up with last year on the Max Prep stats just to see? Was that a Randleman baseball player that we were keeping up with?
I can't remember. It was
we were keeping up with.
It was
oh,
whoever.
No, it was the East Lincoln kid.
Well, Garrett.
Yeah.
Michelle, was that
Michael.
the one?
Not Garrett Michelle, but his
Something Michelle. Yeah.
or was it Garrett? There's two of them.
I can't
One's
remember.
older. Butch says he can't make breakfast.
Okay.
I thought it
He's
was
not gonna
Garrett
be
last
there.
year.
I'll just head on down to Sam.
Okay.
Betsy
Brooks Brannon, he says,
Brooks
is who
Brannon.
we were following with. Maybe that's who it was with. That was.
Yeah.
God, why can't I think?
Betsy Eatman
Taylor
has
Michelle was the older one, so it was
13.
Garrett
It was
Michelle.
Garrett last
It
year.
was Garrett, yeah.
The East Lincoln girl has 13 home runs. Betsy Eatman.
How many she got?
It says 13,
13.
on this list,
Yeah.
which is 6th.
That's
in
pretty
the
good
state.
to have two of those local here
Yeah.
in our area. Macy Michael and Betsy Eatman both. And she ranks 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 in the top 6, 3 and 6. That's pretty good.
Girl from North Gaston has 11.
And where were the two girls from that are ahead of Michael?
East Columbus and Warren County.
Long way from here. Long way from here.
Well, now,
Both of them, right?
but her team's still alive, so she could add to that total.
Well, we don't know if the others are still alive or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I went through the scores, but I obviously wasn't looking for Warren County and
I wouldn't either.
East Columbus.
Yeah.
East Columbus. If you're East Columbus, you have to be on the beach, don't you?
I don't know. Does Columbus County go all the way?
I don't know. That's a good question. Now I don't know if it does or not. It might be one county away from the beach.
Well, guys,
Yeah, you'd run into Brunswick after
Yeah, you might.
Columbus,
Yeah.
right?
interesting nickname the team the Ironmen played last night over at Fraley. South Stanley Rowdy Rebel Bulls. Three names to their mascot. Rowdy Rebel
Is it
Bulls.
hyphenated?
Doesn't it? No, I don't.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't think it is.
East Columbus softball is still playing. They're
Okay.
they're
Are they?
24-2.
Ooh,
Okay.
They're good.
Which classification? are
They're
they?
the Gators, so you'd think they'd be
Oh,
at
man.
least have some water.
Yep.
You know, I didn't ask a music trivia question this morning. Nothing really
No.
popped in my head this week. I didn't think about anything. No J.J. Cale.
East Columbus
Stories
is
or anything?
1A.
East Columbus is 1A.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then what was the other one? Warren County.
Yes, Warren County was where the other girl was from that was second in home runs. You know, it makes me wonder, have we ever had a Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston
Warren County got eliminated
player
last night.
player lead softball in home runs in the state? That's pretty high. Warren got eliminated last
Yeah.
night. So she has so that girl's hit her last one.
Yeah.
at
Well,
least- at
here's a
least for
little
this
trivia.
season.
This year's 2023 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction class.
Boston.
Can you name me one
Somebody going in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
this year?
Just somebody going in the Rock and
Just
Roll
name me one. There's a bunch of them.
Hall of Fame. Well, obviously I have
Kate
not.
Bush.
Yep.
Who?
Kate Bush.
Kate Bush. Alternative, sort of. She's English, right? Brett. I mean, she's
I don't
sort of-
even know. I've just
sort of
heard.
alt rocker.
Is that the only answer you were looking for, or are there?
No, there's several.
Okay.
No, don't say them. I mean,
Here's one. Here's a trivia question. It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but one of the iconic countries.
Willie Nelson.
Yep. I already answered it.
I do remember hearing that.
Yeah. Is there a rapper this year? Seems like there was a rapper or rap group going in.
Female rapper. There's a female rapper going
Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
Missy Elliott.
Yeah. But there was one. There was one band that.
Not Boston.
Who's the big name? There's a band on the list.
Give us some
Rage
kind of
Against
hint.
the Machine.
Well, no, that is a good one. But that's not who I was thinking.
Well, I hear all the time on Lithium.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how about a classic?
Yeah, Tom Morello has a show.
Is there
on
not
Lithium.
a classic band going in, like a 70s classic?
Nope.
Nothing? Okay.
Oh, this Warren County softball in 22 games scored 396 runs this year.
Life. 396.
That's almost
18 a game, maybe?
I mean, that's a lot.
That's just throwing something out there.
That's 18 exactly. Not even 18 point something.
Just call me Rain Man.
Okay, here's one back on the Hall of Fame. There's somebody going in who was really not known for being a performing artist, singer, or anything else. He played a different role.
Was it a radio DJ?
You're close. Yes, very close.
How can you be close to a radio DJ?
Well, he was more than just a radio DJ. He may have started out as a radio DJ.
Not Wolfman Jack. He's already in, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think Wolfman Jack's already in there.
Philadelphia Soul.
Oh, yeah, I know who it is. Don Cornelius.
Soul.
Yeah, the Soul Train.
Soul Train.
Is Dick Clark in it?
Well, he should be, but I don't know.
Yeah, he did Bandstand for all those years. Let's see.
Bernie Taupin, who wrote a lot of songs with
Elton.
He's going in.
Yeah, he deserves to be.
Oh,
was there not a classic
He wrote
rock
about all those hits.
Band or an 80s band?
Not a single 80s. No.
Real quick, let me give you a couple comments from Lenny. Walter Jenkins is committed to UNC, but will never set foot on campus. He is projected top 3 in the draft, and maybe the first high school player taken. Now, did we say something about him or get his? Is he one of those Rowan guys? Who is this, Lenny?
You mentioned the name a minute ago, but
did I? Brooks Brannon, he's answering again. Brooks Brannon was the Randleman player that broke the home run record last year, which belonged to his dad, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. It
Walter
Paul
Jenkins
Brennan.
is South Brunswick.
Okay, yeah, I've heard about him. I have totally heard about him. Didn't somebody from here play them in the state championship series last year? Somebody from around here?
Was that South Rowan that played him?
It might have been. South Brunswick. Is that what you
South
said?
Brunswick.
Yeah. Brooks Brannon was the Randleman player that broke the home run record. He committed to UNC but signed with our Red Sox. So let's bring him up. We need some home runs. We could use some power in the lineup. Always use power in the lineup. Devers signed a big contract, but not living up to the payment so far. We've had a good time this morning.
Yeah.
Enjoyed you being with us here. For Mike Powell, Brett Keever, I'm David Keever. See you next week on Sports Talk.